What up, everybody? Welcome to the In Off the Bench podcast. I am Daniel Ball, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Jim Cross. Jim, the intro is fire, man. It got me pumped up, amped up. I'm ready. I'm ready to go strike people out.
Bro, it's easy. I mean, he makes good highlight reels.
I try.
I mean, really, this one right here where he's just like, come on. Anybody can come get some of this. Let's go. But yeah, let's not beat around the bush. We got Ethan Norby joining us, ECU star pitcher. Jim, before we get into, we've had him on before, but we're really catching up. We're really talking about the season. We're really talking about Omaha playoffs, the conference tournament, because we know those guys are going to be there. It's just who they're going to play, how they're going to get there from now until the end of the season, what it looks like in the conference of the American, all that good stuff. But we can't talk to Ethan without talking about Jesus One apparel. Jim, Jesus One, what's going on? I saw you at the game. I saw you rocking the gear. I see you. I don't think you own anything else other than Jesus One apparel.
I actually blew people's mind at church Sunday. I showed up not only with no Jesus One shirt on, but I actually didn't have a hat on. And there's a bunch of people that are perplexed that I even have hair, Daniel. It throws them off because I wear a hat so much. And then they were like, you are not wearing Jesus One apparel. I don't think I've ever seen that. And so I do own something to the point of the thing, but why not rep it everywhere? It's accountability. It's spreading the message. Love doing it at the baseball fields, especially ECU's color palette is the same as LSU. So got to rock it. But what's new with them is, man, MLB, you've seen it. The guys are wearing it everywhere. There's now 6 teams that are wearing them. And so we got their short sleeve hoodies on the website. Use code IOTB20, save 20% off. And then 15% goes to local ministries that we choose. So go out there and get your gear.
Might have to grab one of those.
Yeah. Fun fact. You should. Fun fact, though, for everybody out there. There was a time where Jim Cross's hair was everything. Everything. Now it's
there, bro. It's
the hat
still
game.
there.
And
that's the reason.
I mean, there was a time where,
I'm convinced, Daniel, the reason why the show had success early was the Frohawk. I'm just saying.
I mean, there was players that you were like, man, my hair looks better than theirs, and we've had some nice cuts on this show, man. So
it really all started
honest, like there. I miss those times.
I was fanboy, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Ethan. We had Tanner Allen and the Mississippi State guys on, and they all had that haircut in 21. And I was going to a lot of the games because my son's a diehard Mississippi State fan, and I just cut my hair like that. And my wife was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "You're not a college baseball player," and I was like, man, I'm trying to be like everybody else. I was like, it's a thing right now. It looks good. Anyway, everybody's giving me compliments. Meanwhile, my wife's giving me a hard time. So, Daniel, it is what it is. I felt good about it.
Hey, it was good while it lasted. We also, what's that?
I'll respect it. My brother used to rock the hawk back in the day, the sideburns or whatever. I don't even know. But
sure.
Yeah, he wasn't pushing 40 either, though.
No.
I didn't say that. We also got to give love to Chinook Seeds, 8 flavors, mild to wild. Go to your local gas station, grocery store, convenience store, pick up the best sunflower seeds in the game. They got a new flavor coming out. They got kernels coming out. They've got
the special edition. Are you kidding me? The money's going over to the soldiers. What are we doing? Like, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, big time, big things. And finally, Old Dominic Distillery, bourbon, vodka, whiskey, gin, olddominicdistillery.com. They can take care of you, whatever you need. They got you covered. Speaking of getting you covered, man, you want to talk about getting what you need on a weekend? Ethan Norby is going to give you that. He's going to be out there, and he's going to give you a chance to win every time he steps foot on the mound, and we got to welcome him. Ethan, what's up, brother? How we doing?
I'm doing great. Just living the dream. Glad talking to you guys. Excited to be here.
Yeah, no, man. It was exciting to get to watch you pitch. I got to thinking, we had you on just shortly after the 19 Ks against Coastal Carolina, and it had me thinking about how that team was in Omaha. When you watch that team on that stage, like, not to be arrogant, but do you sit there and think, man, I own that team?
I mean, it happened in March, and they were playing in June. So I think it's one of those things where that team was a very different team when I faced them versus, when they were on the national stage. And it was kind of cool knowing that I did that against them. But, hats off to them for having a great season.
Yeah, they showed this year, though, with the injuries, right? Like everybody was already putting them back in Omaha. And it's like, man, anything can happen. You obviously look at LSU as well. But, I just think from a pitcher standpoint, you saw what happened to the arms. And it's why it's hard to just go ahead and assume and lock a team to go back there. It's so hard. They still obviously can do it, but losing, a couple of your best pitchers is not the formula. But I do got a question that wasn't on my notes, but it's because I'm sitting here looking at it on the TV behind the computer. Do you play MLB The Show?
I dabble.
Dabble. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell y'all guys this. This is, like I said, not playing. The new Chase Dolander card, Daniel, 5-time IOTB guest, Chase Dolander's card is out. And as soon as this is over, my wife might as well not expect to see me the rest of the night because I'm going to go get in. I'm fixing to throw 19 Ks Ethan style. It's going to be awesome, Daniel.
I mean, can't go wrong. That's for sure. The next guy, do you create, Ethan? I've always wondered this. Do you create yourself in games like this?
No. I usually go like a shortstop or something. Switch hitting shortstop, hit nukes.
Yeah, why does he want to pitch? He's always does that. I want to do something different.
Exactly.
So no, I mean that's what I would go with too. You always want to do what you don't ever get a chance to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why not?
We had Jack Brooks on from Oregon the other day. Daniel, you weren't here. Let me ask you this, Ethan. Thinking about things you don't normally do, what do you think is more fun, hitting a home run or robbing someone's home run?
Hitting a homer for sure.
Well, he actually said Robin, but Daniel, he makes it look pretty good. Like, he gets a lot of fun out of it.
Every pitcher's going to tell you hitting a home run. That's the only answer.
Well, yeah, when you give them up, it's like,
yeah.
So, being on the other end of that would be nice.
So I did see you, but I did see you on the road. I'm always fascinated by the walkout song. I think it's a bigger deal for coming out of the bullpen. Obviously, you really got to set a tone, but I am always curious to the starting pitcher. So what is the walkout song for you?
For the past 2 years, it's been Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue.
Oh, Daniel's all about that.
Let's go.
Me and the boys, we were watching The Dirt, the movie about Motley Crue, and they were playing that song, and I was like, it was like a week before the season started, or like 2 weeks before the season started, and I was like, that's it. That's what I want.
So Ava, our other host, she usually asks us questions when we have new guests, and she'll critique it. And Daniel, I do agree. Like, there's some people who you wonder what they're thinking when they pick their songs. They don't vibe with the crowd. They don't have any meaning. It's like, why did you pick it? But that one's one that the crowd can get down with. I think you can't go wrong with a lot of those older rock songs either.
For sure.
But I do got to turn. I always like talking the songs, but I also like talking the uniforms. I mentioned they were LSU colors, but LSU don't have lavenders. And I tell you what, the weekend rotation with the black, we don't have that. So I think ECU's got a more kit. But I ask you, I know you don't get to wear them all being a Friday night or sometimes Saturday guy, but what is your favorite uniform to wear?
The blacks, 100%. We love wearing the blacks just because they're not button up. They're like kind of that mesh material, and I think the black just pops, especially with white pants.
And then the hats, Daniel, I don't know if you've seen their white hats with the patriotic symbol on there.
Those are our favorite.
I need one of those in my life.
That's our combo. Like that, like the postseason combo is always the white hat, black jersey, white pants.
There it is. So that's Daniel. That's the one that's going to come to your part of town. Because I was looking, Daniel, you got no excuse to not go watch Ethan pitch because the tournament is coming to you.
Yep.
It'll
be here.
You got any excuses already, Daniel? Or are you going to make it?
I mean, 3 weeks. Let's see. 2 kids. I'm sure something comes out.
They'll be okay. Dude, getting to watch Ethan pitch is something that the kids, you better find a sitter, bro.
I would love nothing more than to be able to go out and enjoy baseball. The weather's great right now. It's not too hot. In a few weeks, it's still going to be pretty good. It might be a little warm depending on when you play.
Sure.
That's really that's really the hardest part right there, Ethan, is as you get into these conference tournaments, like the game time, it's not like a 6, 7, like you might draw that time, but like you could also draw a 1 o'clock or
a
so
10 a.m., 9 a.m. game.
yeah.
You better take off work, Daniel.
This guy.
No,
Man.
but I did see that when I
The
saw it was in
pressure.
Clearwater. I was like, Daniel's got to go now. What if he brings you a patriotic hat?
I mean, I guess I would have to go, right?
Yeah.
I would have to.
Let me see
I'd
what I
have to
can do.
gift it. I'd have to gift it to Jim because he's.
And you got to wear purple, none of that blue.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I
Can't
mean,
do it.
blue probably won't be there. I mean, actually, believe it or not, this was a big weekend for them, but we're not going to
That's
go
why I
down
say it
that
was
road.
equally as big. You know, they were in a tie for first, and so it was a bigger deal. Needed to get the way serious, and we'll segue into that. You know, y'all talked about the weather. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it was 69 and sunny when Ethan was pitching in Memphis. So ideal weather, but. Team is 29, 19, and 1. Daniel, I know you love that one on there. You love ties more than anybody. But coming off a tough weekend, what does the team need to do to get yourself back right? You know, obviously, y'all got the home series coming up. Y'all usually take care of business. What do y'all do to get these next 2 series back-to-back and finish strong?
You know, I think we just need to relax a little bit. You know, believe in what we got. We have the right guys. You know, we've been banged up all year. Probably the most injuries we've had in a season in the Coach Godwin era. But, you know, we keep having guys step up, which has been the most exciting thing. And nobody's, you know, throwing excuses out there, but it's kind of the next man up mentality. And I think for us, it's just continuing to show up no matter what happens next day, you know, next game, next inning, next at bat, next pitch, all that good stuff.
Yeah, all the coach speak, man. You know, when you were talking about Coastal last year and your performance against them, and then what Coastal was able to do at the end of the season, and you mentioned that they were a different team, and so I kind of want to flip that to you. You talk about making improvements now. Are there improvements that you're trying to make now as a, you know, to better yourself, better the team between now and conference play or conference tournament play, or is it just turning the page on a bad weekend and just doing what you normally do?
Yeah, I think it's that. I mean, it's tough to really work on things in season. But, you know, if you're really, you know, something hasn't been there that has previously been there, like that's something that's easier to get back. You know, like me and my pitching coach talked this week about, you know, going back to the changeup more. Haven't been throwing it the past couple of weeks, but I worked pretty hard on it throughout the fall and the preseason. So that'll be something we look towards this weekend adding. And then, you know, we've had some guys move a position or two in the scrimmage today. But, you know, little things like that.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the changeup. Let's talk about the pitch in arsenal. How do you go from working on a pitch over the fall, bringing it into the arsenal, throwing it a lot, then all of a sudden not throwing it as much as you were in the past, and it was working for you? Is it just the hitters, the plan, the, you know, how you want to attack certain teams, or was it just I had something other than a changeup that was working, so I was just sticking with that for now?
Kind of that. You know, my bread and butter is my fastball slider combo. I think it was UTSA when I really found that slider again. And I think after that, I was like 50-50 fastball slider, just because it was pretty dominant. And then this weekend, with the majority right-handed lineup that Memphis has, it's harder to, you know, get those ground balls or some more swing and miss when you don't have that pitch that's fading away from them.
Yeah. When you talk about finding the slider, was that something that you had been working on, or was that something that you had and then all of a sudden you just couldn't find it, or it was just off, or you literally like go, oh man, let me go back to this pitch that I just haven't used?
Kind of the last two things. I didn't really have that. It didn't have that same bite, I think, early in the season. as it has been. But I think it was also, trusting what got me here, and then just leaning on that, and let's keep working on the other things.
Daniel's doing it. Daniel's background is a national championship pitching coach. I didn't mention that, so he's going to break this whole thing down with you.
Sweet, I love it. Let's do it.
So I do want to get into that because let's talk to Jim for this question, because for me, I get it, but for a baseball fan that's not a pitcher, that doesn't know, like, it is a thing to lose the feel for pitches and have to like find it again.
100%.
So like, how often would you say that happens in the season?
Shoot. I mean, it's like you kind of, as a pitching staff and like kind of specific guys, you talk about it in like your A stuff, your B stuff, your C stuff. That's kind of way you look at it. Some days you're battling with your B minus stuff, but you still got to figure it out, how to get outs, how to manufacture through the lineup a couple times. And then there are days that you have your A plus stuff and you can go out there and dominate with 2 pitches. But, some days you need that third pitch, that fourth pitch to really, just help you maneuver through a game, because, everyone's kind of looking towards those 2 things. And then, when you can add another thing for them to think about and then another thing, it makes it a little bit easier to, get through a game.
Daniel, it makes me think, the way it's explained, it makes me think about the weight room. Some days you just got it and some days you're just trying to grind through it. Like, it feels like that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's little things. It could be stride, it could be you're opening up, it could be you're rushing, it could be you're slow. It could be a number of things that you don't feel,
for sure,
but someone has to see it and show you. You might see the outcome of the pitch and go, all right, I got to get my arm slot up a little bit if I'm going to throw that, or I got to do this if I'm going to get this result.
Or
but
even
sometimes
like a rubber adjustment. That's kind of what it was for me. I was on the far first base side, just kind of creating that really tough angle for lefties, and I was struggling with it, just trying to get the fastball to the glove side and the slider to the glove side. So we moved to the middle and been able to locate much better with those 2.
Yeah, when you move left or right on the rubber, like, and you open up too early or you open up too late, you're either throwing across your body or you're leaving pitches across the middle of the plate and they're getting hit pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's little adjustments like that people may not realize. This is why I love pitching so much, is because 2 things. One, everybody has to stare at you for action to start. That's what I love about pitching. Like, everyone's looking at you. Yep. You're the only person where everyone's attention is always going to be on you before anything else happens. That's what I love. But I also love like the minutia of small adjustments that make huge differences. And I guess that's similar to swings, like I'm not a hitter, but like I could imagine like small adjustments in a swing or your location in the box could maybe do the same thing. But for you, as you're finding this slider, as you're finding these pitches, at what point do you go, okay, like I guess the tough part is going, all right, I feel it. I feel like it's better. Like, at what point do you go, oh, this is different today, let me rely on this pitch? Is it one time through the lineup? Is it the first time you throw that pitch and you're like, oh shit, this is different? Or does it take a few innings for you to go, all right, I need to start building this in and kind of leaning on this or working off this pitch first?
I mean, I think it honestly starts in that pregame bullpen. And then between innings, you kind of feel that extra bite on specific days. And you're like, okay. You turn around to your pitching coach, you're like, maybe this is something we could work on a little bit, add it more in the game. And then even between innings, if you're seeing something, just talk to him, about specific guys if you want to throw it there.
Well, I think it's interesting, as you said, in the bullpen, we've had a couple different guys said their best games they ever had, like when we talk about specific performances, came off a horrible bullpen session.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I pride myself on like not trying to be terrible in my pregame bullpen, but like if I have a bad pregame bullpen, it's totally fine.
I will tell you this from a player standpoint. I feel you. Like I'm like, yes, like as a player, if I'm in the pen and like things just aren't doing what they're supposed to do, I was really good about shaking all that off and going, all right, when I get on that mound, like, and I hate to say the word matters, but like, yeah, it matters a little bit differently on that game mound than it does in the bullpen. But from a coaching standpoint, you're like,
yeah, you're like, dang,
come
here
on,
we go.
like you're like here's your coach. He may not say this to you, but he's thinking this. He's like, Ethan, I need you to get it together down here because you're our guy, and like I need you to be your best today.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, stop doing that and do something different. Be Ethan Norby, not
Hey,
whatever it is I'm seeing right now.
I got a question for you, Ethan. I didn't plan this, but I thought about it, Daniel, with as much as I texted you about it in real time. Did you happen to see the Vanderbilt versus Alabama game on Thursday night with Connor Fennell?
I did not.
Okay, so you know, after the game, Coach Corbin would apologize and everything, but Connor Fennell, who was at 70 pitches, you know, guy who
okay, I did like see a highlight about him.
Yeah, so he'd only given up 5 hits through 6, no walks, 7 Ks. Really, so he just gives up one little rinky-dink single, and Corbin pulls him for a lefty-lefty matchup, and you can literally watch the conversation. You can see it clear as day. Are you really pulling me? I'm only at 70 pitches. And then I thought ESPN did a real disservice to Connor Fennell showing him in the locker room. But nonetheless, you see how unhappy he is, and the bullpen ends up getting lit up. Have you ever had a moment where a coach pulled you? You felt like the coach pulled you when you had too much left to be pulled?
I mean, sometimes you feel that way, but like, you know, they obviously know what they're doing. They're seeing it from a different perspective. As a competitor, you obviously want to stay in there as long as you can until your last bullet. But you know, they're seeing the matchup, they're seeing the numbers. They have all that information at their fingertips. So you know, you just kind of got to.
Do you feel like sometimes the numbers maybe speak too much compared to your gut? Because I mean, taking your ace, I'm thinking about it because I'm putting it in perspective. Because Ethan for ECU is the same way that Connor is for Vandy, and that's your dude, and you're going to ride with him. And I just can't see pulling a guy at 70 pitches. I can't.
I mean, the metric part of the game, there's so many, so you can get lost in the weeds of the metrics, and you can get really away from your gut and what you know as a coach and what you've seen. Because yeah, in the fall and as you're doing these things, numbers are being taken, but it's more of a visual. How does it look when you're getting up in your pitch count? How does it look when guys are starting to string a couple hits together? How does it look when you have no outs and runners in position and you've got to work your way out of it? And so you take all that and combine it together and you go, it's really a no-win situation for a coach, because if they pull a player and they still had more in the tank and something negative happens, then it's, well, why did the coach do that? But if the coach leaves the guy in and something negative happens, then it's like, well, why did you do that? So it's a really,
but that's why it was easy for me, because there's guys you just ride with, like, and that you know, man, when you got a dog on Friday night, you got to run with them.
That's true, but you also have a stable of guys in the pen for a reason, and that's the reason. Like, why not? You want to put everybody in positions, especially from a staff standpoint. And Ethan, you could probably speak to this as well. Is as a coach, you know your guys, and you need to put them. Your job as a coach is to put them in a position that they're going to be the most successful. And so, if you send a guy out there and runners get put on, and now you're putting a guy in after the fact, it's really, if something bad happens, you're not putting that guy in a position for them to be the most successful. Or if you're putting a pitcher in where you can see fatigue and you see what's coming up in the lineup and you can see how the swings are starting to center up balls and square balls up, like, you're not putting a guy in the position to be the most successful. So I think that's kind of the trick, and not always are you going to call it right, and you got to call it right more times than you don't.
He ended up being wrong. It didn't take but 3 batters for
Oh, yeah,
it
I
to be a
mean,
different game.
clearly. But see, that's I think in that moment, that's Tim Corbin overthinking his gut. I mean,
Well, like I
70
said, the
pitches
only
at this
reason I
point in
brought
the
it
year
up
is
on the
not.
episode was because it made me think, because him and Ethan's fierceness on the mound is very similar, and it's just there's dudes that I'm gonna die on the hill with. Like,
And there's probably
Yeah, I
other
mean,
things that were going on. I mean,
Yep.
it's late in the season. The dude's probably way through 6 innings, 7 innings. Probably get him out of there early. If you can save it. I mean, the bullets right now are less important than the bullets in May or later May and June. So stuff like that still matters too.
look at y'all saying all the right things.
Winning-
Y'all know it was a terrible decision.
being on the upside of the score as opposed to being on the downside of the score, that's those decisions that factors into the decisions. Where you're at in the lineup, that factors in the decision. How you need to pitch the next batters comes up, that factors in, whether they're left or right, or what
Well, that was the thing.
the other
He
team
said he
could
justified
do
it by saying he's going
defensively.
lefty matchup.
Right. And and that's a decision that he would probably make 10 times out of 10. And it didn't pan out this time. But
Well, that's why I'm here to coach from my couch, bro.
for sure, man. Like he was coaching, he was texting me at the game this weekend, Ethan.
Dude,
He was coaching.
I lost my mind on two
man.
things. I lost my mind on that, and then the umpires in the A&M game, who Gavin Grahovac is the hottest hitter in college baseball, and they called back-to-back pitches for strikes that were balls, and then try to justify and say TrackMan said, anyway, no, I seen the SEC report. I know that they were both balls. But that's, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. How you gonna do that, Daniel? But that's a whole nother tangent. We'd be here for days. So I got issues with coaches, umpires, and everything else in between. And then ECU got me out there getting heckled by Memphis fans. What a bad weekend. But LSU won games, so there's that. That's a rare thing these days.
Hang your hat on that for the weekend. Ethan, I got one more question for you, and it goes to the mental side of pitching, which it can help or hurt you. When you have an outing like this past weekend, or the team, doesn't play up to standard, mentally, what goes through everyone's mind right now as you're preparing to play again? Do you even think about that, or is there a process to get through that, or is it just simply recognizing it, looking at it, taking ownership for what could have been better, and then just waiting for the next game?
I mean, pretty much exactly that. Recognize what you did bad, clean it up in the practice throughout the week. Not having a midweek this week gives us some more time to get to work. But you can't overthink it. Like we talked about earlier, there's not a whole lot that you can change right now. So just, kind of cleaning up the small things, and then, just getting back to work on Friday.
When you say looking at it, are you actually looking at film of yourself, or do the coaches show actual plays of the series and go, hey, these are moments where outcomes could have been different had we done these things right? Or is it just simply referring back to, hey guys, remember in the third inning when we had this going on and we had this guy in position and we had 2 strikeouts back to back, that's just or is it showing you on film?
Kind of a little bit of both. I think individually coaches will meet with guys about specific things that they should have done differently. But then there's also positional group meetings. Like we had our pitchers meeting today about, different situations in the games this weekend, about what we could have done differently, what we needed guys to do in those positions, specific guys that we kind of need this matchup right here, and we didn't come through, and then that kind of caused us to go to the next guy, and then this guy gets an air behind him, and then boom, there's a blast, stuff like that, where we talk through it, understand what we did wrong, and then now we go to work and try to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Does your boy I'm blanking on his name, makes it terrible that I'm bringing it up, but Daniel Lawson, all this is they had the pitcher of the week actually on their team. Does he got to come to meetings, or does he get the day off?
Nah, he'll always be there. Well, wherever, whole staff will be there. No matter.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I knew
That's, that's the meeting you want to come to as the pitcher of the week.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that some would say that I'm bad luck, Daniel, because I didn't go Friday night and they own them, so I don't know.
I mean, and you were supposed to go Friday and you switched it.
Oh, I switched it because I was going to watch him pitch.
No, that's what I'm saying.
One night I had to do date night with my wife. You know how that works.
So
I just switched them. Hey, that just shows I put my priorities in watching Ethan. I moved my wife around. See,
definitely.
I appreciate that.
Speaking of priorities, we got to do stadium eats here. To be quick, fired off. I know it's finals week, all that stuff, but I'm gonna pull up a picture. It's gonna have 2 items that go head to head. You tell me which one you'd rather have. Forget what the price tag is on them. Some of them show the price tag. Forget that. I just want to know which thing are you partaking in. So here's the first one. Oh, it shows. I showed 2 minutes. So it's the Salt Lake Bees. I'm gonna do it one more time.
What even is that?
Got a giant pile of fries with the whole loaded thing, or it's literally 4 patties on a burger. I mean, we're talking calories for months worth in one setting. Which one we going after?
I'm going for the loaded fries, 100%.
Loaded fries.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. All right, so going back to it. One's got barbecue on it. One's got mac and cheese on the hot dog.
I think I'm going to have to go the mac and cheese. That looks pretty insane.
All right, let's see. Oh. Daniel, I pulled that one. I'm going to have to show it again. Daniel, I pulled that one actually from hockey. It was on the Stadium Eats.
That looked really good.
Yeah, you had the lobster sub, and then you had the lasagna sub.
Oh, the lasagna for 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Not even a question.
Let's see. I doubled that one, so it's after this one. Hold on.
Man, that burger looks good, though. I'm not going to lie.
There it is, the tacos.
Ooh.
So there it was. It was the tacos. So I'm gonna go back to it again. Sorry, you got to watch the other ones first.
Diablo tacos and then some other.
The Bridgeport tacos look really
good. Chicago's Taqueria. Anyway, which one are we going with?
I'll go with the Bridgeport ones.
Daniel, let me ask you this: we're both tight about our money. Are you okay if you're going for MLB experience, or even you saw the one with NHL? Are you okay with dropping like $35 on something to eat just because it's an MLB experience these days? Because these stadiums are coming up with these crazy food items.
I think so. Here's why. It's because they're now making these options. It's expensive, but they're making them big enough where you can share them.
Yeah, for the whole family.
Right. So I think for $35, like you can get some loaded fries and everyone can snack on them and get a couple.
Well, when I went to Kansas City last year, me and Jackson shared they had a legit size baseball helmet. Not talking about mini helmet. Nacho played. It was like $30, but like to your point, me and Jackson didn't need anything else to eat the rest of the night. So we're good.
It's worth it. Worth it if that's the case.
So now I get to break the news as we go to our next segment to finish off the episode. Who our celebrity guest outside of Ethan is. Obviously, he doesn't have time to come on the show because he's on tonight, but he's already made his picks. You're going head-to-head, Ethan, with Connor Griffin of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay. And, of course, me and Daniel. You're not going to beat me, but maybe you can beat Daniel and Connor. So, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
You can beat me because I am so good at this. I'm not good, if that makes sense.
You overthink it?
Yes, 100%. So we got some pick'em, we got some games we're gonna throw your way. So we'll go around the horn and we'll tell you who we got, and you'll tell us who you got. So first game on the slate, LSU traveling to Georgia. Mm-hmm. I'll make it easy on everybody. Jim, I'm taking Georgia. LSU's wins were short-lived this weekend. Give me Georgia.
I agree. Georgia's a good baseball team.
I believe Georgia can absolutely rake, but LSU's back's against the wall, Daniel, and I'm an LSU fan. And like Connor said, because Connor told me, lock it up. Now, granted, he was committed to LSU, LSU's going to take it. I'm rolling my boy Connor. We're both going LSU. No surprise here.
Let me ask you, what's the win total in conference play?
9.
Now, so we got some work to do.
We
and
need
this
2 out
weekend
of 3. We're taking
huge.
2 out of 3 from the next 2 series, them and Florida, which means you got to beat Aiden King and Liam Peterson somewhere in there. And we're going to take both of them. Then that would leave us to only have to win 1 game in Hoover to make the tournament, so we can end up in Georgia Tech's region and they can beat the tar out of us.
I mean, you see the guy, I can't remember his name, the guy from Florida who went out and pitched 3 scoreless and then turned around and went 4 for 5 with 3 bombs this past weekend.
I did not see that.
I know that Aiden King for Florida is must-see TV right now.
He's legit.
Yeah, he's pretty good. All right,
so
we actually broke the rules. This show's rules were no Florida guests. We kept it for 4 years, and then we broke it this year with Aiden King and Liam Peterson. And I figured if we're going to do it, they got to be that talented, right? That was the rule, because we actually once upon a time passed on Jack Caglione, which really bit us. So we weren't going to make the mistake again.
How are those guys? I'm pretty good friends with Liam. We played USA this summer together, and I met Aiden a couple of times.
Yeah, they're the real deal. So but then again, so are you, man. Team USA don't miss, Daniel.
No, not at all. Texas traveling to Tennessee. I'm taking the first UT, Texas.
I agree. Volantis has been shoving.
That and an anomaly this year. Tennessee has been terrible at home. So
really?
give me Texas, and Connor's got Texas as well. So, and you know what that means? Yep. Tennessee's probably going to win because we're all on Texas.
Yep. Next one, West Virginia at Kansas. Give me West Virginia. I don't know why, but you could put West Virginia up against everybody, and they could be a huge underdog, and I feel like I'm going to take them every time. I don't know why.
Can't explain it. It's elite uniform combo, and we have 2 guests from West Virginia, and you haven't watched Kansas play 1 game this year, have you? Because I haven't.
That's why. That's really why.
Kansas ranked?
They're ranked 7.
Really? Right now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's rock with Kansas.
They're good.
Woo.
Yeah, all right.
But it's one of those things. Big 12 doesn't get much coverage as it is, and then they're not really playing any big matchups most of the time. This is one of their only big matchups, and so just haven't really seen them. But to Daniel's point, like, it's something about West Virginia, and we've had those guys on. So Daniel, Max Yell can shove. Well, I'm riding there.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We got Oklahoma at Arkansas. I will take Oklahoma. I will never take Arkansas.
I'm gonna have to go Arkansas.
All right, Connor's going Oklahoma. I'm going Arkansas. I hate to say it, but I got to.
Oh man, this is the one. This next one's
weekend at home. Which how they get back-to-back weekend home series is beyond me. But Ole Miss had them dead in the rights, and then Arkansas walked it off. A guy who hadn't had a hit in a month was your home run hero.
Who was it?
You're gonna do that to me. I have to look. Go ahead and give the next one, Daniel. I'll figure it out.
This one's intriguing. Oregon at UCLA.
Nah,
I'm taking UCLA. I'm taking UCLA.
They're the truth.
Just saying. I mean, we've had some Oregon guys on the show, so it's gonna be.
I don't know, I play with Rock and Mulavai this summer. Those guys are.
Christian Turner was the hero for Arkansas, and like I said, the Arkansas has not had a hit in over a month, and got the opportunity to pitch it and hit a home run. So, as much as I don't like Arkansas, I do like storybook type stuff. So, I can get down with that.
There you go. Who are you taking? We're both taking the Bruins.
So I just had Jack Brooks on last week. I said from Oregon. We talked about this matchup. They're not scared of them. I'm not scared of them. Give me Oregon.
I don't know. They've 4 losses.
I got to pick different than you guys anyway. I can't be the same. Yeah. We got to have some differences.
All right, Oklahoma State at Arizona State. This is Ethan. Let me tell you,
interesting one.
It is, and I pick Oklahoma State far too often.
Only because of the football coach. That's the wildest part. Nothing to do with baseball.
That's the wild. Yeah.
What if I told you? What if I told you our boy, 2-time guest, is the assistant coach now this year, Daniel Lane Forsythe, and now you have another reason to do it.
I'm setting the stage for me to continue to pick Oklahoma State. So give me the Cowboys.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with the Sun Devils. Cole Carlone's
Okay.
pretty gross. And then they got what's his name? Harrelson, right?
Mhm.
That dude rakes.
So I'm taking Oklahoma State, and then Connor's taking Arizona State. So it's gonna get wild. We're aside from one matchup, we've all been kind of different.
All right. Auburn at Mississippi State. I mean,
Ooh, that's a good one. Who's starting on Friday for Mississippi State?
Valencia, or how you say it?
Valencius.
No, Valencius is Texas. What's his name? Valanciunas or something like that is his name. I just watched him 2 weekends ago. He can show the Friday guy for Mississippi State. Yeah.
You know what? Give me Auburn.
Auburn is ranked number 6, and they did just go into Texas A&M and win, which is a statement.
This is for the series, right? Not just like one game.
Right, series.
Yeah, I think at Mississippi State's just too tough. Like that's a really tough environment. 15,000 people, like.
Daniel, I'm gonna go Mississippi State, and to kind of double down with what Ethan's saying, they like to toy with the attendance record every time a big matchup's coming. When you talk about number 6 coming to town, I think there's a chance they might try to break that bad boy again.
We have 3 coaches from or 2 coaches and our trainer were at Mississippi State, and they said like that place is unbelievable.
Yeah, I was there for when they set the record against Ole Miss, and that was even in a down year, one of their worst years. When that place is packed, it's unrivaled for sure. And cowbells, I mean, talk about something that'll get you rattled. I'm sure you can imagine pitching and having those bells rattle nonstop.
Well, I mean, let's be real. They probably set attendance records every game. They just don't say it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. The fire code, you know.
The old fire code. Last one. Texas A&M traveling to Ole Miss. Jim will be in attendance, and
fun fact.
I think
the
A&M's bouncing back, baby. Give me A&M.
Daniel, here's the fun fact on them. This is the hardest one for me to go to. When we talk about allegiance to guys that come on the show, we got 8 guests from each show. I don't even have a way to break that. Like that, we didn't book one this week, so I could say one over the other. So I'm gonna let Ethan pick, but I'm still thinking on this one. I'm kind of stressed on it.
Yeah, I mean these are 2 good baseball teams. Yeah, I think A&M's gonna take it.
Elite pitching against elite hitting. I mean, it's the truth of the matter. Ole Miss's pitching staff is ranked 5th in the nation. Texas A&M top 5 hitting team.
Ole Miss has like a ton of punchies, don't they? Like hitting wise.
Yeah, they are elite. That, like I said, that as a matter of fact, they really, the surprise part is Walker Hooks has been unbelievable as their closer this year. Hasn't given up anything, and then that kid that we talked about is the one, and that's who was pitching and hit the home run off of him. So it's one of those things that like you still can't believe it, but that bullpen has been lights out. They're hitting home runs. As a matter of fact, Daniel, a fun note is Judd Utermark is tied for the home run record, and that's one of the things they've been telling people to televise this week or pay attention this week, because he may in fact break it for the all-time Ole Miss home run record. But I say all that to say, give me Texas A&M, and Connor is taking Ole Miss.
I'd hit Judd first AB, set the tone. Look, bro, you ain't breaking it this weekend.
Actually, I faced Judd in high school. He went to Charlotte Christian. We played them in a spring break tournament, and I think I punched him twice.
His growth has been tremendous. I can look you in the eye and tell you after sophomore year.
I mean, he's always been huge.
I didn't think he had it, and then last year, man, he turned it up a notch, and then he turned it up again. Like, I give it to him because I mean he couldn't hit off speed very well, but I don't know. Like, he looked like your typical just fastball home run hitter, but he became a full growth hitter. The one thing that's going to hurt him come draft time, Dan, is he doesn't field the ball very well, so he's still got to figure that out.
Don't they have him playing like second or something?
They have him at third base, and he had multiple errors the LSU series. Luckily, LSU stunk so bad it didn't matter.
He's got to fix that. I mean, I will
Daniel,
say,
here's the
if you hit
question.
bombs, there's a spot for you, but
Daniel, here's the
defensively
question.
would
If you can
help.
rake, man.
Friday night, do I go? I have the Ole Miss Jesus one shirt, and I have the A&M Jesus one shirt. Which do I go with? Who I'm picking? Do I go with the home team? Do I bring both? Wear one, switch them out, go incognito.
You can't switch. You can't switch. That's
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that. You got to rep
You
one
do
for
it.
one night.
You do it like the moms do when they have their kids playing on two different teams. They like
cut it in half and sew it
in the middle. Yeah.
I'll probably
man.
actually wear the Ole Miss one because it's better looking.
Should go. I have an idea. You should go an alternate color, not of either of those two.
Ooh. Wear the purple and gold.
Alternate. There you go. See, there you go.
That's not.
They would expect you to wear. They would expect you to wear that anyways.
Mm-hmm. Last time I wore one in the Ole Miss, and it wasn't Ole Miss. They were very disappointed because they know I own the Ole Miss and seen me wearing it before. So anything other than Ole Miss, they'll probably be disappointed regardless.
Well, I mean, if you've had 8 of each, you could find one in the middle. Be like, I'm not picking sides.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you go.
Even though
all right, Ethan, man, it's been fun. We're gonna let you get out here. Anything you want to plug or promote?
Nah, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely.
You got a big one this weekend. Rice.
Yeah.
Rice. Got to take care of business. There was a time when I was a kid where Rice was legit baseball.
Yeah. I went back, I think like a month ago and was like looking into the stats because it was like their coach's like day or something, Coach Graham.
Yeah.
And just looking at what he did there was pretty impressive. From like 2000 or like 96 to like 2016, they were like in a regional every year. It was very impressive.
They
actually, Coach Hallmark, who's the UTSA head coach now, was the assistant coach there. Thought that was kind of like a little funny crossover.
They were in Houston last year for one of those classics because I was watching and they were playing Tennessee and A&M, and they had a couple legit dudes, but they even said it on air, like you knew that they weren't going to make it far in the portal, right? That's the only bad problem. Like ECU is one of the few programs that's not in the Power Four where you can obtain and keep guys, whereas a school like Rice, if they do actually get some legit ballers in there, they're not going to be able to keep them. They just don't have the NIL to do it, unfortunately.
Well, who's the Byron Brown? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Some Brown. He was at Rice last year. Now he's at Tennessee. He's a two-way.
Right. Yeah. No, he's really, really good.
Yeah. He took me deep last year.
That's why you remembered him immediately.
Yeah. Hung him a slider.
Well, you weren't feeling it then. Now you got it. Like now he wouldn't stand a chance.
I had a good start then. Daniel,
since you're not a video game guy, let me tell you, that's what makes MLB the show funny. Like he'll tell you this. It's so realistic in the sense of if you accidentally hang that slider, you're going to pay. Like dudes are going to hit a bomb off you a lot of the time. And so you can't mess around and do that. It's just like real life.
I don't know. I pitch very differently than how I would pitch in real life. Like I feel like I'm throwing like backdoor sinkers and like you can low-key, throw a front door slider if it looks like a heater for a long time. Stuff like that.
All I got to do to win a game, if I can get through 7 and have the lead, I bring in Mason Miller. It's just like real life. Right. And I'm throwing the 103 and then the slider combo off. Oh, man, Daniel. Daniel, I know you don't do video games and I know you don't have time, but one day you need to just sit down and play this game for a few hours, change your life.
I mean, that's the problem is that it probably would, and then I would have this other thing to do, or I would feel like I want to do. So,
what does it entice you now to know? There's literally like 50 in off the bench guests on there. Like you can play with guys that we know.
Yeah, I mean, is it enticing? Absolutely, but do I have the time? And this is where I would be frustrated. I don't have the time to sit and play a 9-inning baseball game. I just don't.
I mean, you can play BR 3 innings.
There you go. See,
draft a team.
As long as you find time to go watch Ethan and Clearwater, I don't really care what you do.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Ethan, man, we'll let you get out of here. We appreciate you as always. If there's anything we can do, reach out to us, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That is Ethan Norby, everybody. If you like hearing Ethan's story or you just like hearing average Joes talk X's and O's, please like, share the podcast on Facebook. Go to YouTube, like, subscribe, notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is dropped. Jim, we had Ethan tonight. What's on deck for the next week, 2 weeks? What are we looking at?
Next week, we got Gavin Grahovac returning as well. So we're doing another return episode, getting caught up with him. And then me and you, gymnastics, Olivia Troutman, 3-time national champion.
It's going to be a good couple of weeks. Y'all don't miss it. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.